A brief history of the color red. A red pigment was used in the form of iron oxide or rust. We know it as ochre and sienna, a red-orange color. Yes, the first red pigment was created by letting iron come into contact with water and oxygen. With this pigment, the first known works of art in the West were made. The cave drawings of Lascaux. The Romans called the god of war Mars, like the planet itself, wore red clothes. The surface of Mars is covered with, yes, rust. The color that painters use today is called vermilion. To make this color, in Roman times, the pigment cinnabar had to be mined. It was used in Roman wall paintings around 100 BC. What was also discovered back then by the Roman architect and researcher Vitruvius is that a poisonous substance seeped out of the wine-red stone cinnabar, quicksilver. Red was therefore scarce and poisonous in ancient Rome, and the Romans loved it. They had the poisonous pigment mined in Spain, which cost many lives. In the Middle Ages, the aristocracy, kings, popes, and other dignitaries who sent letters and documents sealed their letters with an elegant red seal made of beeswax. This guaranteed the privacy of their correspondence by keeping prying eyes off the papers inside. The royal family also used red to be recognized. In a time where there was no internet, news reports, cameras, or even a printing press, how could one identify one's king without these mediums? The population would not necessarily be able to do this by seeing the Royal Highness in person, except by the color of his coat. And if the king and his court wore red, then certainly the rest of the population could not. The masses were forced to adhere to medieval rules. Anyone without aristocratic descent was not allowed to wear the color red. Red wasn't just a color, it was a sign of power. This painting, often identified as a self-portrait of Van Eyck, shows a man wearing a bright red turban. Red here symbolizes not only wealth and status, but also the painter's technical skill in rendering vibrant colors with oil paint. Napoleon is depicted on a rearing horse, dressed in a bright red cloak, the color underlining his military might and heroic status. In the 20th century, the color red in Russia signaled the revolutionaries because in 1917, the red flag was raised in Russia for the establishment of new rules. Art in collaboration with mass communication, printing press, served as an instrument to provide socio-political commentary. Lisitsky's beat the white with the red wedge. The color served as a metaphor to bring down the rich white aristocracy. Red, the symbol of revolution. With the advent of film in the early 20th century, director Benjamin Christensen was aware of how audiences react to colors. He used a red color in scenes in his film The Witches, 1922, to create tension in the audience. In the film Star Wars, George Lucas, 1977, we can more easily distinguish who is the bad guy and who is the good guy by wielding their plasma-powered battle swords, the lightsaber. In the film The Shining, directed by Stanley Kubrick, 1980, the Overlook Hotel has a bloody past. Think of the Jack Torrance massacre and earlier tragedies. The blood can be a symbol for all the violence that has taken place in the hotel. It seems as if the hotel has memories of all the blood that has ever been shed. Schindler's List is filmed largely in black and white, but the girl in the red coat is one of the few colored elements. This draws the viewer's attention and gives her symbolic meaning. Her small stature and red coat make her a symbol of innocence and vulnerability amidst the horrors of the Holocaust. Oskar Schindler sees the girl from a distance and follows her with his eyes. This is a turning point in his consciousness. Until then, Schindler was mainly concerned with making money and surviving in Nazi Germany. But seeing the helpless girl amidst violence affects him deeply. In the film, Royal Tenebaums, Wes Anderson, 2004. Gene Hackman plays a father who does terrible things to his family, but because he wears pale pastel pink pajamas, pink equals red mixed with white. While staying with his family, we take his actions less seriously.
He has the cancer.
No, he doesn't. I know what stomach cancer looks like. I've seen it. And you don't eat 3 cheeseburgers a day with French fries if you got it. The pain is excruciating.
How would you know?
My wife had it. Not only is there no Dr. McClure, Kobe General, there is no Kobe General.
What has become clear in this short history of the color red is that there is no universal symbolic meaning behind red, or any other color. Within different cultures and different eras, we have to interpret colors in different ways. Red has many meanings throughout our history. If we look at our current mass media era, in which movies and series are gaining popularity, the color red is also used for different purposes, from love and passion to hate and violence. The color, therefore, has an influence on our psyche, a subject that I have not yet touched upon, but which we are confronted with every day in our lives, not counting movies and series, traffic lights and traffic signs. Because that is also what red does well. It warns us and says stop. With this, my story about the color red stops.
You read me, Hal? You read me, Hal? Hello, Hal, do you read me? Hello, Hal, do you read me? Do you read me, Hal?
Affirmative, Dave. I read you.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
What's the problem?
I think you know what the problem is just as well as I do.
What are you talking about, Hal?
This mission is too important for me to allow you to jeopardize it.